Hey guys, this is a tutorial on how to define your own characters or how to make your own characters within Comic Maker. This is the first of its kind. Before we attempt to create any comic, we may want to use some characters in the comic. Though the application by default ships with a few characters, you may want to create your own character based on whatever style you prefer to. We will look at how to create characters. Um, so I was using Inkscape to define my characters. So this is how a character is broken into. Um I stuck to the template 550 pixels by 550. So if you look at this document properties, the document properties have about 550 pixels by 550 pixels so that these characters do not overshoot in my canvas. So I have put a few guides on this just to ensure that the side pose doesn't deviate much from the front pose. So essentially, character has two poses in this version of Comic Maker. One is the front pose, another is the side pose. So if I just close this and look at the layer sheet, you can see the side pose layer is invisible. If I open this, you can see the side pose as well. So let's see the front pose. I just kept as a backup um, this the full pose. This has nothing to do as of now. All all the parts in this pose are broken down like this. So first of all, you need to decide what character you want to draw, and it has to be within the 550 pixels by 550 pixels um, length and breadth. And then if you choose to use this template, you can use this template. The face should be within these two guides, and then you define the torso. This is the first part. The second part is the torso. You can still keep this torso, keep the torso within the frame. And essentially, you need to remember that your character should be more or less exactly at the middle. So if this is 550, the my character should be somewhere in the middle, 275. It should be at the middle. Similarly is the head. If I keep the head here, it should be in the middle. So this is the torso, that is the second part. And then under the torso you have the waist. You always have to remember that the waist is rendered above the torso. So be it in the case of male or be it in the case of female, the torso is rendered under the waist. So you need to create your character appropriately so that your waist is not under your torso. And then you have left and right upper arms. So ensure that there is a seamless join between the character shoulder and the upper arms. Similarly is the case with the forearm. It should not have any seam between the upper arm and the forearm. And if I assemble it like this, you have the palms also coming into picture. So I keep the palm, and the palms in the front pose are always painted under the forearm. So you need to remember that the forearm will not come under the palm, but forearm will be above the palm. And then comes the waist. Okay, so if the forearm is rotated in the Comic Maker, the forearm will not go under the waist, though your drawing is like this here. It will go above the waist. So your forearm will be visible, so will be your palm. So if your palm is coming over the waist in some rotation pose, your palm will be over the waist. So here it is over the waist. Similar is the upper arm and lower arm. They will be over painted over the waist. And then under the waist you have thighs which can independently rotate. In the front pose, the rotation of thighs does not have any significance, but just to keep it as standard, I have kept the thighs in place. Now you need to understand, in case of a female character, the thighs are rendered under the waist. In case of male character, they are rendered above the waist, both in the side pose as well as in the front pose. Because in most of the scenarios, we expect that a male's trouser is seamless and goes from midriff to the bottom, whereas in case of female, you have skirt coming up and also thighs appearing, so that skirt is painted over the thighs. So the thighs will be under the waist. In case of female, you have the legs. Again, the legs will be painted over the thighs, so you need to take care appropriately. Don't ensure that you don't have any seams. The feet are painted under the legs, so you need to create your character such that your feet show up very clearly if they are painted under the legs. They are not over the legs, they are under the legs. Now, once this is done, the torso has a head painted over it, not under it, so that your neck is not visible. And then eyes are painted over the head, and so is the mouth. So once you assemble this character in your character maker, that makes the complete character. Now, all of these have specific names to follow, confirm to, so that your the character maker identifies your character very correctly. So if at all we look at the folders, there are two folders under this character Raju. One is the front folder and another is the side folder. In the front folder, if you look at, we have the head, we have the torso, we have the waist. Those are the main parts. And then for the lower part, there is a R thigh, which is the right thigh, and there is a left thigh, L thigh, and then there is a left leg and the right leg. And you have left foot 0, right foot 0. I could have avoided this 0, but unfortunately I have coded too far, too much, that I did not want to make any changes. I expected that couple of or a handful of parts would require a little change. For example, the character may want to change the shoe color, or the character may want to change the shoe totally, or character may want to show his eyes in an angry gesture. So the few parts I have allowed the changes to be done, so those will have to be represented as different parts. For example, R foot 0 is there, so there can be R foot 1 2 3 4 etc. Similarly, L foot 0 1 2 3 etc. Similar is the case with eyes. You can have different looks with the eyes. The default one is the 0, whichever you want, and then you can have 1 2 3 so on and so forth, till whatever number of poses you require to have. Similar is the case with mouth. As many mouths as you want, depending on the pose that you want to show up. Now this is all for the front character. Let's look at the side characters. Side character also resembles the same in more or less in the number of parts that you will have. Only thing is, in the side pose you may not want to cover the second eye. um, that is one thing. Otherwise they are similar. So let's look at how to assemble all these parts in the character maker. So I open the character maker here. I will have to go to this folder Raju. So for that I will say I'm trying to create a new character for the comic maker. I go to the folder Raju in the D drive. So I clearly see that there is a front and side subfolders appearing. You need to ensure that these folders are present and these folders have the appropriate images in them to be able to build the character for you. So this is version 1. Now it is asking what is the name of the character you want to build. since I have already built Raju, I'm just saying Tom. Tom is the character I want to say. Male and female. Why do you have to choose this? This is to choose only for a specific purpose at this point, which is the painting the waist, whether it should be over the thighs or under the thighs. It is that's the only decision to make. So I select. Uh, all my characters have come up into this canvas. Uh, all the grid lines that you see, they are only for your reference. They have nothing to do with anything else in the character design, just as guidelines. Now the pose is side pose. Let's go to the front pose and understand how things can be organized well. You can clearly see that these are set to some default positions which are not correct. um, it is totally disorganized and I want to organize this. How can I organize is by pull and dragging and dropping these objects. There is no undo option available. You just have to redo the things, whatever you're doing. Now the good thing is that if you're following a specific template to create characters, you always do the same design of the characters using the same template. The good thing is that you can, when you save the character, it will also save a character profile along with it. It not only creates a character but also a character profile, so that next time when you import these images for a different character, you can apply the same profile and achieve the same characteristics as the earlier one. So, so you can see that there is a new open, save as, and a CP. CP means the character profile. So you already have a character. You want to apply the profile of that character into the new character. So that is what it offers you. Right now we don't want to apply, we want to see how we can set the character into place. So let's look at it. Let's drag this torso away a little bit, thighs away a little bit. When you select any body part, it is highlighted here so that you don't get confused which body part you are working with. For example, even if you select from here, it will highlight where is that body part, so that flexibility is there. Let's keep the waist at the middle so that everything works for us approximately good in the initial setup itself. So waist is here. I will set up my left thigh. You can see it's a left thigh. I will approximately put it here. Before putting here, what I will do is I will set the join point for this. Join point is nothing but where the part will rotate when there is a pose. You need to understand the our body, our human anatomy, it moves. um, it doesn't have a linear motion, but it has a rotational motion in the joints. It is because of the rotational motion in the joints that we are able to move around or make some poses. So where is the rotation point? That is what we need to tell this. So I will say show me all the join points at this point. So it has given me some default join points. Now if I disagree with this, I can set the join point. I will just click the join point. But before that, let me show the template as well. You can follow a specific template like this, which is not really very good if you are an expert in this. But just to show that how a character should be made, just to keep in line with that. It doesn't anymore help just than giving some visual help or visual support to arrange your character's parts. Now let me remove that. I will say I want the join point for the waist to be somewhere here so that I know where it will rotate. So can I rotate here and see? No, you cannot rotate here and see, but it clearly shows this blue circles, concentric circles. They will tell you where the character can rotate. So, and then I have the torso. I bring the torso and assemble it over the waist. You can clearly see that my waist is painted over the torso. So the join point of torso is here. You can clearly see. I want to change it to a little lower point. I will keep it here. Okay, so the torso join point has moved. Um, Sometimes what will happen is after arranging all these characters, my entire character needs to be moved up. So once you arrange your waist and torso, when you are assembling the head, just see if your character can move a little up. You can clearly see that there is some space available. So since my character is tightly fitting, I will move the character a little up so that I have some space at the bottom to work with. So I selected this. I will try to get rid of this additional space within this objects area, which is a bug right now, but I will fix it. Now I will arrange the face. Now this looks fine to me as of now. I will click on the right shoulder. This is the left upper arm. Sorry, this is my head is arranged, but the rotation point of the head is not arranged. So let me reset the rotation point. You can see that the rotation point right now is here. I want to move it to here. So this is where the head will rotate. And then I have a right upper arm. Right upper arm rotation point is fairly okay, but I will still move it a little up. And then I will touch upon the left upper arm. The rotation point, I will move it a little up and center. The left palm, I will keep it under here, and I will say the rotation point is a little above or little up, or I can move it further up here. Fine, looks fine to me. I will then move the right upper arm and keep it in place here somewhere, and then set the join point to be somewhere here approximately. Don't have to be very precise, but make it approximately symmetric with respect to the other side. So the left upper arm, a join point is here, and then you have, sorry, this is the right side. This is the character's right side. For me, it is left side. So I set the right palm. I set the join point to be here. Now I can move it further. The join point moves along with it. I don't have to reset the join point again. Now the upper part is more or less done except for the eyes and mouth, but let me do the lower part. My thighs join point looks fine for the left thigh. I will just move it in place approximately. Remember, you don't have to be very precise. These characters are seamless because they do not have any boundary line overlapping. If there is any boundary line overlapping, then they will have some challenges in posing. Since there is no boundary line overlapping, you are fairly good to go. So my left leg has a good join point. I can just fix it here. I don't have to change anything. My right leg has a wrong join point. I will correct it. Yeah, arranging your characters into arranging your parts into characters is a little tedious job. Once you do it precisely, your character is ready for posing. And if you see that there is some discrepancy in the posing, you can rework on your character. This doesn't stop you. Sorry, I push the join point of left leg to the right area. So I need to select this and say this is my join point. Great. So the join points are done for legs, left foot. So this is my shoe. I just want to move the join point a little up. So how do I know where is the join point? Just have to observe your body alone. If you observe your body, you will understand where are the join points and how you can arrange them. There is no science involved here. For eyes, just as a standard, because this is defined as another object, it also has a join point. They actually don't rotate. Um, you cannot individually rotate the eyes. You need to understand. So my character is more or less done, but just to keep the join point in the middle. Yes. So my front part is done, right? I will save my character. Let me save this as Tom. This is what we said, right? You can still save it as something else. It doesn't stop you. Tom.cmk. So comic maker character. This is the comic maker character. It also creates a CMP file, which is the comic maker profile file, which can be used to apply the profiles. So I just saved this just to be in safe mode. I go to the side pose now. What will I do? I remove all the parts separately. You have an advantage here. You have an advantage, you have a disadvantage. Um, one advantage is that, yeah, let me talk about the disadvantage. The disadvantage is that in the side pose, the right side arm is not visible. The right side parts are not visible. For example, the right thigh, right leg, right arm, right forearm. These things are not visible, but you need to align them correctly. So for this, um, that is a disadvantage. If you have to manually align them, it's a huge job, trial and error job. So I just created something called, if you make your character symmetric, not in any pose, not in any specific pose, you can arrange the character very well. I did partially, this character is created partially to conform to the alignment. I will show you where it is not adhering and where it is adhering to. Let's look at this. First, set the join points of all the parts. So for the right upper arm, this is the join point. For the left upper arm, this is the join point. For the head, this is the join point. For the torso, I will keep this as the join point. For the right thigh, this is the join point, or maybe a little lower. Does it have to conform to the front pose? No, not necessarily, because we are not doing animation here. We are only doing a posable character. So when the posable character comes, um, the difference, when somebody, the ability of somebody to make out a difference between the length of your knee and in a front pose, and the length of the knee, length of the thigh in a front pose versus length of thigh in side pose is very minimal, because they are statically posed. Right. And this is the left leg. See, the left leg is not conforming to the right leg. It has a horizontal position to pose, but that's fine. So let's keep this here. So I cannot align the both of these. If they both of them are vertical, then I can align. Similar is the case with the foot, left foot. Left foot has a different join point. I will just make join point here. Right foot looks fine, but let me just pull it a little up. Thigh a little up. Left lower arm, here it should be, right? That is one. The right lower arm, here it should be, fine. So these things look fine. The left palm, here it should be. Right palm, here it should, oh, little inside, right. For the waist, it should be here. Cool. What else? I don't want to meddle with the eye and mouth, because I will not anywhere rotate them. So let's bring back all of the parts together. So what is the first one I should bring is the waist. So I will keep the waist approximately at the middle, a little up. I will see if my assembling torso into this, will it bring a little lower? Yes, the character is getting lower. So I will keep the head up in its position and assemble under it instead. Right, right here, and that's fine. Then here, then what is this? This is the right thigh. So let me keep the right thigh away. Let me pull the left thigh here and say that I will have my left thigh here. Okay. So how will I adjust my right thigh in the position? It is not easy, because once it goes in the background, I will not be able to. So what I will do is I will select the left thigh and say align the right thigh also to the left. So when I do this, the right thigh is gone. Okay, there is a little defect that it's not refreshing immediately. I will fix it. But the right thigh is gone. If you see, it has aligned up exactly behind the left thigh. Similar is the case with left leg and right leg. But here, left leg cannot be aligned with it. Right? So if I align with this, what happens is it comes like this. I don't want this to happen, but anyway, since this joint looks perfectly well, what I will do is I will just put it here this way. That is fine. I can push this left shoe here and right shoe here. Works wonderful. Left lower arm, let me put the left upper arm. I know that left upper arm is here. A little challenge here, because the colors are seamless, but I will try to find a fix. Um, Where are the right upper arm is here. Okay. So what I will do is I will remove this torso and approximately I will try to make out where approximately my hand can come. So that is fine. That looks fine to me. I will arrange the lower arm also approximately there, and I will arrange the left palm here so that it is good. Looks good to me, right? Okay, great. So what I will do is for my right up left upper arm, align the right to the left. Fantastic. For the left upper arm, align the right to the left. That is done. For the left palm, align the right to the left. Wonderful. Now everything has come in place. I just keep my torso back. Now this has arranged very well. I will move the smiley here, or his mouth smiling. Unfortunately, since this is 550 by 550, a little challenge in zooming out and zooming in. Yes, my template is done. I will just save it. So everything is saved. I will go to front pose. Front pose is done. Side pose is done. Wonderful. And I have saved it. Cool. Let's see how we can use this character in the posing. Done. In the posing, let me reopen the code. You can see that Tom has appeared here. Now this is still in the development. There are few bugs. There are a little more enhancements. I need to bring the backgrounds and all. But for now, I will show you how you can pose your characters. There is still some discrepancy in the arms. You can adjust them accordingly. If you select your character, it is there. Now you can pose the character from here on the right side panel. You can resize the character as required, or you can just pose the character. So if I keep this character and also bring another character called Pinky. Wonderful. I will set it to a side pose for her, reduce the size. You can see a little discrepancy in the side, in the selection uh, selection box. That is because the character was not aligned properly when defining the character. So if you keep the character symmetric, this kind of discrepancies do not happen, but that should be fine. For you, it is not a major concern. So I just want to pose these two guys so that they are facing each other. This guy is turning towards the right side. I want to make him turn to left. So left, make a little less in size so that it suits my both characters. I want this guy to kneel down a bit. So what I will do is I will also keep his left leg. There is some discrepancy in setting the join point here, but that should not deter you much. So left upper arm, he has raised left, right lower arm a little, and then left upper arm a little, left lower arm a little, and let's bring him down so that this, just to try to make him pose for to say something, I love you, kind of. What should I turn here? I should turn the thighs, left thigh a bit, left leg a bit, right thigh a bit, right leg a bit. Let me pull back the right thigh. There is a join point issue here. We will fix it. And then the torso a bit. And then the waist a bit. Left lower arm a bit. left upper arm a bit, left lower arm a bit more. Yeah. So let me move this character a little closer so that they feel like they are at the same place. And I would add a bubble, speech bubble here. There are some discrepancies still. I'm saying I will work on them. The tail has to be rotated to about, let's see, where will the tail go? Yes, the tail should be here, but anyway, there are still some. Yes, so this is what we wanted. Oh yes, now you can pose it that way. You can change the pose. You can save this into a comic strip and post it somewhere wherever you want. You can have nice looking backgrounds. You can import your own images. I'm trying to put in more. So all the characters that you create are available here to be added. You can name the characters, you can pose the characters, be it in front pose or in the side pose. Let me select this character and go to the front pose and talk something different. Say raise the left upper arm, or oh, this is in the flip mode. So let me raise the left upper arm. So he's trying to do some shabashi. Oh, if he's kind of teacher, he's saying congrats. So this is another pose that you can get and do. So if you again go back to side pose, he will probably kneel down in the flip mode. So I'll just flip him. So this is how it works. So I hope you enjoyed, and um, I will look forward for your comments so that I can make this software a better application. Thank you very much for watching.